Welcome to Cardboard Conjecture on YouTube and the Top 5 Show. This episode is Top 5 Unplayed Titles that are older than 5 years. This episode of the Top 5 Show is brought to you by Wood Geek Studio, where they create customized wood carving and woodworking products to meet your board gaming and RPG needs. You can find their products at Amazing Stories and Dragon's Den Games, Wood Geek Studio. And welcome back. This is Cardboard Conjecture, and this is my pleasure to open up a new series with, I'm just going to call them the Cardboard Regulars here. And I might as well introduce them. So back at it is Mr. Rao, Gaming Rants and Reviews, Ryan.
Hey.
And from the Meeple Dungeon, I said it before, I'll say it again, the cutest couple in board gaming, Robb and Anna Marie. And
hello.
So we, again, Ryan's so used to this. Me just popping in going, hey, I got this idea. Right. And so, yeah, I had this idea after probably too much caffeine in the day. And I was just thinking, hey, how can we just talk? Because it occurred to me that every time we talk about a game, we all go, oh, yeah, it's my favorite. This is one of my favorites. This is one of my, right. And so the tagline is like, we could talk about our favorite games depending on the topic. Right. And I thought top 5. Everybody loves lists. So let's just be like everybody else, I guess. Have a top show.
Sure.
I rolled the random, I think it was a D4, and it came up in order of like on the screen that I saw, and I'm like, okay, I rolled a 3, went to Anna Marie, got to pick the first topic of the first show of the top 5 show, and I'm going to hand it off to you now, and you can tell us what the topic is, and you get to decide everything from here on in.
Okay.
If it doesn't suck.
Here we go.
All right. So here you go.
So, let's see how awkward I can make this. So I chose the top 5 games that you haven't played that are at least 5 years old. So from like 2017 prior.
Yeah.
That's about as straightforward as you can make that.
I had to take my time.
Yeah. And in my head, I'm French. So I think, well, what's the opposite of that? No hype games.
Yeah. So
Hey.
Norm, why don't you start us off?
Oh, okay. Well, I'm
goodness.
going to start from my number 5 and then work my way to the one I want to play.
Okay.
And this one is, I think it's just a 2-player game. And I've heard Shut Up and Sit Down call it the most frenetic and exhausting, but you think about it for every minute of the day afterwards. And it's War of the Rings 2nd edition.
Mm.
And I don't know what year that came out. I was going to write that down, but I think that's like a 2014 or something like that. But yeah, I love the IP, and I know Robb, I know you love the IP too. So
Love it.
for me to just play a game that is that story.
Yeah.
And if you're a junkie, you know all the little narrative parts of the cards, and you know all the little side quests and how it should roll out and how it might not roll out depending on.
Yep.
I mean, if you're me, it's not going to be like the movie at all, because it'll
No.
just be a rollover on whatever side I'm playing. So yeah, that's my pick. So
Yeah, that's a great pick. Truth be told, we've only played that once. We have it, but we've only played it once, and it was over several days and learning. It was a huge learning curve, and it took up the kitchen table. It was a monster on the table.
Yeah.
But yes, it's quite the game.
Yeah.
2011. Yeah.
2011,
right,
second
wow.
edition, 2011.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
That's crazy. Yeah, because this is for Star Wars nerds, it's Star Wars Rebellion. For Lord of the Rings nerds, it's War of the Ring. It's a fantastic. It's Lord of the Rings literally in a box.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
says 150 to 180 minutes.
Oh, for sure.
If
Yeah,
you know what
for
you're
sure.
doing.
Nah,
Yeah.
that's like that's like where I come from. The lines on the road, they're just a suggestion.
Yeah.
All right, so that's mine. Anna Marie, who's going next?
Ryan.
Cool. So mine is also a 2-player game, but it doesn't have anything to do with Lord of the Rings. It actually has to do with dinosaurs. And that is Raptor, designed by Bruno Cathala and Bruno Faduti. Yeah. And this came out in 2015. There's been a lot of buzz about Raptor in the Bridge City Board Gamer community. I think a couple copies sold at the ToonCon auction.
Yeah.
And I had asked a friend of mine that was at the auction to try to bid for me. And I said, this is my cap. I'm not paying more than MSRP for Raptor. And of course, the copies sold for more than MSRP at the auction. I'm like, dang it, I'll just have to pick it up at some point in time. I don't know why I haven't picked this one up, because this looks like right up our 2-player game alley of one player is playing the scientist and the other player is playing the dinosaurs. And the dinosaurs are trying to protect their babies and eat the scientists. And the scientists are trying to collect the baby dinosaurs to analyze. And it's a card-driven.
We can attest to this.
Yeah.
We have Raptor. And it is amazingly good.
Yeah.
It's really good. One of our favorite 2-player games.
That's been a while.
So good. It's been a while for sure, but fantastic game.
Yeah. So I keep hearing that it's a fantastic 2-player game. And my wife and I are all about 2-player games. I don't know why we haven't picked this one up, because I love the concept of like trying to go get the raptor babies, and the raptors are trying to get the scientists and protect the babies. And there's a unique card play thing where it's like, something about the action points are the difference between the 2 cards played, and something like that. I can't remember, but it just sounds really, really, really good. It sounds really good.
It is good.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. Raptor.
All I can think of is clever girl.
Yeah.
That's exactly it.
Cool. I'm guessing it's Robb.
Yep.
Okay, this one is a game we won as a door prize a long time ago at a convention, and it's been bugging me so I want to say it's like 7 years or something.
It's on your shelf still?
Yeah, and it's in the plastic. And this actually, this came out in 2016. And this one is Adrenaline from Czech Games Edition.
Yeah.
And all I know about it is it's basically a first-person shooter in a box, and you play as a wild character, and you load up with guns and ammo, and you shoot it out in an arena, and it's last man standing. And it sounds awesome. And we have it sitting right over there, and I still haven't played it.
I'll let Ryan froth about this one.
Right after this recording, I want you to go over to your shelf. I want you to remove the shrink, because Adrenaline is a top 10 favorite game of mine of all time.
It's so fun.
It is
it's so
much fun. Every time that I ever get to play it, it just creates those crazy moments, unique things, and oh gosh. Yeah,
that's exactly. It's first-person shooter. I mean, you described everything about it, and it's that in a box. Ryan showed me this, and I just went, "This is awesome."
I mean, it sounds amazing. We won it, and when we won it, we didn't even know what it was, and not until like maybe a year after we had it did I even realize that this is actually like a highly rated game.
Mm-hmm.
And just want to play it. It just hasn't happened, but I'll do that for you, Ryan. I can take the plastic off right after this show.
Oh, and then. Not to toot its horn or anything but they have an expansion pack for it that adds a 6th player, and you can do the 3-on-3 team mode. It's like a team of 3 versus a team of that mode is so much craziness. It's so much fun. I recommend the 6-player 3v3 game if you ever get a chance to do that one. It's so much chaos.
That sounds good.
All right. Okay.
Here we go.
So my number 5, this is I kind of cheated, but it isn't.
You cheated on your own list.
I know.
It's your party.
I make the rules. So it's either from 2007 or 2014, depending on how you look at it. And it's Race or Roll for the Galaxy. So it's the same. So there's that idea. I don't know much about them except that I hear about them all the time and how they're like foundational. So I feel like it's one that I should play. I don't have it. either of them. But yeah, that's definitely one or two that I would like to, at least one of them I'd like to get a hold of and try out.
I've only played it once, I think.
I didn't know if you had played it or not.
I played it once. Someone around here has it. I don't remember who, but yeah, I've heard.
I played race, but not roll though.
Yeah, I love playing both of them, and I'll preface that I will never want to teach how to play them just because of the sheer number of icons. I think with the first time that I ever played Race for the Galaxy, I was pretty new into the hobby, and my friend Ian was trying to show it to me, and I was mind boggled by the amount of, you can call it icon the game.
Yeah.
Because there's so many things to represent these things, but once you start rolling with it, it actually makes sense. This is actually not that bad, but my gosh, icon
language. Yeah. It's got that language, but yeah, cool.
Yeah.
All right. So we're on to number 4 now. All right. Yep. I'm taking notes. My number 4, and I'm going to get one of those. What? I love my worker placement. I love my sci-fi genres, and I love time travel, and I want to play Anachrony.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you should.
Yeah, because yeah, see, there we go. I can't. I do.
No, Norm. I mean, that was on my short list.
Oh, was it?
I haven't played that either. Yeah.
I know Ryan has it, and Dave had borrowed it and kept it hostage for a while from Ryan, and he kept talking it up, and I hear all these other people talking about this idea of getting things from your future self for you to come back to be able to pay back the genre. I just love this sci-fi kind of time tripping genre.
Definitely.
And worker placement and some, apparently, I mean, I'd be fine with just cardboard representations, but there's some kick. There's some butt minis in this one. Apparently,
it doesn't. You can't play with the cardboard version of this game. No,
I could have rocks in its place. I'd be a happy guy. I just want to learn the system.
No, you wouldn't.
Anachrony has a lot of expansions, right?
Yeah, it's got a ton of modules now.
There was I kept looking through every time I would see an expansion come up at like our local store, I'd be like, because they didn't have the actual base games. It's like, dang, because I really do want to play that one too.
A buddy of ours just around the corner does have it, and a couple of the expansions. He's had it for years, and it hasn't happened. And yeah, it was probably 6 or 7 on my list for sure.
All right, so there's a good one. I'm happy with that. That's a good one. I've got some head nods of.
We'll play my copy, Norm, because I've got my miniatures are painted.
Well, Shay, from Board on the Air.
Board on the Air, Shay painted my minis for me, and they look absolutely stunning.
Awesome.
Not to rub that in.
Anachrony. That's my numero cut.
Okay, my numero 4 is a game from 2003. It's my oldest game on my collection that I have not played, and that I really want to play it. It is another 2-player only game, and this one came recommended from the Meeple Dungeon. I listened to their podcast a long time ago. They mentioned playing this game quite a bit, and I want to play this one now, and that is Yinch.
Oh
yes.
YINCH, and it is published by Hook Games. Hook Games. Wow, this thing is abstracty goodness.
Yes.
I just loved everything that it sounded like. I have no idea exactly how to play the game other than
it's very simple.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Different rules, and that's it.
Yeah,
but
and there's something about when you move a piece, like something gets left behind in order to like a shadow piece gets left behind, and you're trying to control, and things can flip over from one color to the next color.
Changes everything. It's every time you're like, I got it. I don't got it. What just happened?
It's like that. Just when you think you got things lined up.
And there's like a series of these games that seems like 5 random letters from the alphabet type of abstract
have-
games.
And if you say it out loud, it's like, oh, that's the word, right? I think
Yeah.
there's like, yeah.
Yeah, and
Play on word
this
kind of
one
thing.
seems to be the highly rated one. This one seems like
Yeah.
the one
We
that's
have Yinch and Czar, I think.
Yeah, there's 2 we
Yeah.
have.
Is that
and
the diamond one?
Yinch is, Yinch
No.
is the gray case, and the
okay.
Czar's yellow, I think.
okay.
I threw a
Yeah.
curveball.
They're
I
both
didn't mean to.
they're both amazing.
Yeah, and then
Right
I
on.
always hear about Link. I think it's Link.
Haven't tried that one.
LYNK something, but yeah. But I want to play Yinch because you folks talked about it, and it sounded like something right up my alley that I really need
for
to
sure.
get played.
It's great. We played like 10 games in a row easily.
Oh, yeah.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, I remember
So
you
good.
guys talking about it too. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, we'll move on to my number 4. And this one I've already talked about with you, both of you, I believe, on, I think it was the last episode of whatever we did like a month ago. And it's my embarrassing thing that I have never played Clank. And no
That's
Clank,
right.
no Clank of any sort. And in fact, just the original I would like to play, and we have it over here, but we have not played it. And that's Clank from Renegade. It sounds awesome, where you're trying to get loot from a dragon and you're making noise with your boots or whatever, and you're trying to get the loot and you're making the dragon angry, and it sounds great. And deck building, love deck building, and it leads to a game like Dune. So I'm all in for it. I want to play it really bad, and it's sitting right there beside us, but I can't believe I haven't played it. And that's a 2016. So yeah.
Well, it's full circle because, like you said, that was on your new to your collection list.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, the new to the collection episode. Yeah, we just got it like a month ago. And I don't know how I haven't played it, but
I think it,
Yeah.
and in that episode, my favorite thing about that is watching the table and watching the people at the table going, all right, who's dining and dashing? Like, which one of you are gonna just like grab and go? Because it's like,
right?
yeah, it's
so funny.
it's like the first one to flinch kind of thing, and then it's a race to the top. And same thing in Clank in Space too. It's just that whole, okay, how deep am I gonna dare to go? And then someone's like, oh, I'm just gonna teleport from here to here. I'm out. Start the clock. Like,
Yeah,
suck. Yeah, I have no movement. Oh,
it
yeah,
sounds
it's-
amazing.
It's a panic.
And
yeah.
Yeah.
so yeah, I'm embarrassed to say that I haven't played Clank.
All right.
It's on record, folks.
It's on
Yeah.
record.
On record.
So my number 4, it's published by Portal Games, and it's a 2012, and that is Robinson Crusoe: Adventures on the Cursed Island. And it's just, I don't know why I haven't played it yet. It's well, is that that's a 3-player, I think, right? Is it a
I don't think
3?
so.
I think it's like 1 to 4.
Yeah, I think you
Oh,
can play it
yeah.
solo. Yeah.
I was wrong, but I think that was just, I don't know,
I
adventure
can play
game.
3.
Yeah. And I don't know why I had that in my head, but yeah, just I don't know. I love that type of adventure on the desert island, and just
Yep.
That
That was my
exploration.
number 6 for my list. I haven't played it either. We have it on a shelf over there,
Yeah.
and we bought it ages ago, and
yeah.
I just haven't got to it. I've heard
I
it's
think
amazing.
you guys
I've heard
would
it's
like
really
it. Yeah.
difficult, But
Yeah. There's an expansion called, I think it's called the Beagle, and it's Darwin in the Galapagos Islands. And that's that whole kind of like, here you go, you need to go do these quest kind of things. But do you guys know about the card damage, and that it can come back in the future kind of thing? Have you
Yeah.
heard about that stuff?
I was reading about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, where it sounds diabolical.
Like a
really.
card comes up and you'd be like, you do this or this, and you kind of like don't look at the bottom, because if you choose something like, oh, a spider bit me, okay, and then it says, okay, put it back in the deck now, and then when it comes back, you look at, oh yeah, that bite now, you're poisoned and you're starting to die.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah, it
Sounds great. Yeah, I
fantastic.
don't know how
game.
we haven't got to it, but
Yeah.
Ryan, have
Well,
you played
time.
it?
I have not played Robinson Crusoe, but I hear so many good stories
Well, Ian,
about it. Yeah. Ian talks
Yeah.
about it lots.
Yeah, you guys will love that game. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, it's back to me now.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3. I absolutely adore this designer. Probably two of my favorite top 5 games are of this designer, and I can't believe that I have not yet played A Feast for Odin. And
What? Holy.
Uwe Rosenberg.
Wow.
I've like La Havre. Yes.
Yeah.
At the Gates of Loyang. And then the Patchwork. It's just that you take that idea and then put it on like a 4x8 dining room table.
Yeah.
And what is it? Sort of like 160 different worker placement choices.
I think it's only like 36.
But I mean, from my perspective, it's like you get into this whole psychology freeze out, like going to an ice cream store that has 101 choices and you take an hour to pick ice cream. So that's what scares me about it is it too much my brain will just be like scanners and just on the back.
Actually, once you start playing it, it actually kind of clicks because all the actions are kind of grouped together. They all kind of do a similar thing. And it's kind of like, oh, what can I afford? I want to do this thing. What can I afford to do? Or what am I willing to do? Because everything has like a cost of how many meeples you want to associate with that action. And the more meeples, the powerful the action, but then less actions you can take throughout the round.
Yeah. I see it as a hybrid between that polyomino groove he was in and this kind of that farmer mechanisms, that farming agricultural mechanisms where it's just this balance of both. And I just want to sit down and play it.
Oh, it's good. It's really good. You'll like it.
And the board game arena implementation is the chef's kiss. It's awesome.
Oh, well,
really?
Without all the setup, it's all set up for you. You just start just clicking. It suits your style, Norm. You can just click on something and see what it does.
Have a coffee click. Cool. Well, I'm all about the Feast for Odin. That's for sure.
Yep.
Okay, my number 3 is I love me my Twilight Imperium. I love me some Eclipse. And then there's another game that came out in 2014 that I have not played, and that is Xia Legends of a Drift System.
Oh man,
that made my list.
I was close.
Yeah, I am so in love with those other space themes, sandboxy 4X styles. I just don't know why I don't. Maybe it's because I've never actually had the opportunity to play this one. And there's not that many copies out here in Bridge City Board Gamer Land, and so this is just one that I just want to play. It's played every year at ToonCon. There's always a few tables of it. We got a game played at ToonCon, and I didn't get to go to ToonCon this year. We were out of town, but I want to play this one. It just seems right up my alley because I love my space exploration combat game.
I played it 3 times.
And it's got little cool
I haven't
ships
played
too.
it.
Yeah, every ship is pre-painted. It's hilarious.
Nice.
Where like you can kind of take on a role. You can be a pirate, or you can be a like taxi delivery style thing, pick up and deliver, and you can like get hit by a comet that's going through, or you can get sailed into the sun through a wormhole and you explode, and then your stuff is all left drifting in space for people to come pick up. It's so good. It's so good. I played it with a couple expansions as well, and oh my goodness, the second I can get a copy of it, I will.
I haven't played it either, Ryan, and I would love to as well.
Yeah, because I see that it is because it's by Far Off Games, and they just had their Game Found where was the Kickstarter? That was that Iridia Pathway, their tread, and you can buy in the Pledge Manager. You can buy copies of Xia with the expansions and stuff like that. So I might not want to do Iridia, and I think I might just want to get Xia.
But you would not be disappointed. It is excellent.
That made my number 8 because I
There you
had
go.
10, so it was like, oh, I gotta organize this. So,
man.
yeah,
Man, you had a 10. I quickly raffled off like 5.
I had to stop at 10 because I was just crying at that point.
Yeah, I know, right? It's like
Yeah, big snot bubbles. I can't believe I'm playing this game. Robbie,
Right on.
All right. My number 3 is my oldest game on the list, and this one comes from 2009. And this one is from well-known Mr. Eric M. Lang, and that's Chaos in the Old World. And this is one of those ones that kind of kicked off how he made miniature-based
Yeah,
kind of dudes on a map style games.
Mhm.
I don't know a ton about it except for the fact that I swindled somebody and got myself a copy of it.
it's
And,
Warhammer 40K world, isn't it?
Yes, it's in the Warhammer 40K world, exactly. Yeah, some guy in Kelowna was selling it randomly, and I got it uber cheap, and he dropped it off at my office and everything. It was like, what? And then either way, but yeah, it's been sitting on my shelf since 20. I probably got it in like 2015, something like that, and it's been sitting there since. And I've just wanted to play it, and I just never have. I don't know why it hasn't happened, but I mean, I love all the Lang games, hugely into the Blood Rage and so forth. So I assume I'm really gonna like it. But yeah, I just haven't. It just hasn't happened.
Yeah,
The,
'cause I want to say that this one was a when he made Blood Rage, he was he had this design in the back of his mind when he was making Blood Rage, and kind of like making this Chaos in the Old World kind of like more streamlined type of thing. I want to say that I read that somewhere. I know I'm on the interwebs like saying it out loud. But I want to say that was a thing. So, of course, if you love Blood Rage, you're most likely probably going to like this.
Yeah. And I know it's just super rare. There's no copies out there. And I was blown away to get a copy of it. So
Well done.
it'll happen here sooner or later. But yeah, it hasn't happened, but hopefully soon.
Yeah, this is one of those games because Fantasy Flight Games lost their license with the Warhammer IP and everything. So none of these games are ever going to make back. Like Forbidden Stars is another one that just can't find, but I heard it's great.
There's gonna be some crying. Let's cool.
Yeah, no, it looks awesome. Chaos in the Old World.
All right. My number 3 is from 2015, and this is 2015 was a 3rd or 4th edition. So there's been a couple of renditions of it. And this one is Fury of Dracula.
Ooh,
and that one, I think it sounds like so much fun. Trying to, because that's hidden movement, I think, right? Like in Dracula, you're trying to find him or get away. And I hear you have to have the right Dracula. Like if you have the right person kind of playing Dracula, it can, make the game. But I love that. I love the theme and the, I don't know. That game I think looks like a lot of fun. It looks awesome.
Yep.
And it is a ton of fun after you get past the horribly written rule book.
Oh no.
Yeah, the rule book is it's that Fantasy Flight Games typical style of there's a rule book and a learn to play and a rules reference.
Nice.
And there are certain sections where the rules reference completely contradicts the learn to play. And I hear that the rules reference is like the correct way to do it. So once you get past, there's really awesome player-made resources out there that have the condensed rules that are correct. I would highly just recommend. I think it's called. Oh, what's that? He's the guy who puts everything onto like one page of paper, double-sided. The esoteric, universal head of rules writing. I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah. Wow, someone spent a lot of time on BGG.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's a website.
Oh, is it a website?
And he's done, oh my gosh, these rules references for like tons of games. Like there's one for Twilight Imperium, and there's one for and they're just like always one page.
You'll have to send me the link. I'll put it in the show notes just so that I know where I can go. Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah. Click it again.
Yeah.
I'll just get you to teach me, Ryan.
Oh, I'm a great Dracula.
Awesome.
Actually, I don't think I've ever played this game where I'm not Dracula.
Right on.
It's fantastic.
But yeah,
Okay.
that's my number 3.
My number, I can't say this without cracking up. My number 2, it's a solid number 2. And it was mentioned already. So
What?
Yeah,
a crossover.
Wow.
Well, no,
Wow.
it was. I don't think it was mentioned as a list, but it was mentioned in discussion.
In discussion.
And it is. I come back to that whole space. Love me, the space. Love me. This is exploration, and I've not played Eclipse, and I needs to play me some Eclipse because it is everything that I think I like, because it's sort of like, hey, what do you want to do? I want to do this. Okay, go do it. Yay. And
it's great.
That sandbox idea. Not that I'm like a chaotic kind of person, but if someone says here's some rules, I'm gonna hop the ditch and like just go outside the rules. And this to me seems like that kind of game. So
Eclipse it's so good. It's another reason to come out to Kelowna, because we in a group here, we play Eclipse a lot. And everyone knows it really well. So you could jump in on a game easily and just we could just hit the ground running and you just pick it up as you went. It's incredible. It, for the longest time, was my favorite game ever.
Ooh.
May or may not be right now, but it's certainly up there.
Yeah, it's so good.
All right,
I've never had a bad game of. I've had bad games of Eclipse, but I've never had a bad experience.
Yes,
with Eclipse,
Same.
And that's what
I've
I hear
been
too.
decimated, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, and those are the kind of games I like, where it's like you guys could kick the crap out of me. I'm having fun right here, right in front of me. So I want to get eclipsed by playing Eclipse. There you go.
Make it happen.
I'm here all week. Try the veal.
Okay. My number dose is my unicorn on the list, because I want to find this game and I can't find this game. Apparently it's on Board Game Arena, and I did not know that it was on Board Game Arena. And it is a puzzly game from 2013, and this is called Quantum. Has anybody heard of Quantum?
I think
I feel like I have.
It is it's published by Funforge Games, and it's designed by Eric Zimmerman, which doesn't mean a lot because I think this is one of his only like well-known designs, but it's not in print anymore. And I don't know if it's ever going to come back into print. And essentially it's just everything's used with dice, and your dice are your spaceships that are kind of going around the board. And low numbers can't move very fast. Like a 1 can only move 1 space, but it does tons of damage. Whereas a 6 can move 6 spaces around the board, but it just kind of goes pew pew and doesn't do very much damage. And it's kind of like you're just kind of going around the board, and you guys are kind of having these little mini combats and trying to fulfill these little orders and quests and stuff like that. And apparently it's very puzzly in like the way you're trying to move the little dice ships around the board. And
that would help with your many puzzle degrees. So
yes,
very good with that.
I don't know,
code breaking.
I think I'm up to like 80 now. So I just never seen dice used in this way before, and I just really, really want to play it, and I don't know if I'm ever going to get a chance to play it. There is one person in Bridge City Board Gamer Land. His name is Jason, and I know he has a copy of this game, and he's said many of times it is never leaving his collection. Is that good of a game?
Wow.
So now it just makes me, I just need to have it.
Yeah.
Ryan's now devising.
So if something happens to
break
Jason, we know who to tell the police.
I would be suspect number one, especially if this one particular game is also missing off of his shelf.
Oh, and the fact that it's recorded now. So
Awesome.
So Quantum, really, really want to play it. And apparently it's on Board Game Arena. So I actually might fire up a game at some point in time just to try to learn what it's all about.
Yeah, that sounds good. I love dice and how they can do different things like that.
I think it sounds great. Yeah. I'm curious now. I'm gonna try and find it, and then I'll taunt you.
Totally would.
I'll follow up your unicorn game with my unicorn game. So this is the only one on my list that we don't actually have in this room.
Ooh.
And I'm kicking myself. It was at an auction years ago at one of the conventions we were at here in Vancouver, and I should have bought it, but that's back when I didn't understand how a lot of this stuff worked. And
before I knew what life was.
Yeah. And this comes from Riot Games, and this is Mechs versus Minions.
Oh yeah.
This game has oh man. This game has my name written all over it, and I have not found a copy since. I can't find one to buy anywhere from anyone. And I just know it's got all those wicked minis and the whole, I mean, just Mechs versus Minions. It sounds amazing. Just I love the idea of it. I love everything about it. I love every picture I've seen of it. I just want to play it. And yeah, I can't find it. I don't know where to get it.
Yeah.
So
very
if
cool
anybody's
program.
watching this and has something, contact us.
Yeah, Ryan has a copy and
my.
brought it to school for our school's board game club, and played
Those
it.
guys ate it up.
All the missions, and
I bet.
it was monster. Oh yeah, it was awesome. Yeah.
I can't. Yeah, I've wanted it forever, and that came out in 2016. I probably saw it at a convention in like 2017, and it was a decent price, I think, but I don't know. I didn't get it, and I've been kicking myself ever since.
I'm trying to remember because I think I had to. No, I think I had to order it. I had to order it right off of their website because no one had it in it didn't enter like regular distribution.
No, I've seen it nowhere.
Like no game stores really, unless if a game store ordered it from their website. I think you can get it from their website. I'm just trying to
really
right now merch.
Cue the Mission Impossible music.
Yeah.
Nope, it's right here. merch.riotgames.com. Mechs versus Minions, Wave 3, right there. Add to cart.
Oh, look at that. You know, it's funny. I never think to actually look at the actual publisher's website.
See,
isn't that weird?
You know what? And I'm not going to point this out, but I think Ryan just called you on it.
He did.
And I think he's like, "Oh, you'd buy it if you could find it. Here, let me give you a second here. There you go.
I'm going to. I'm 100% going to.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah. Let me work my Google magic, and
that's happened way too many times. Just him and I talking, and he's like, and I got my phone out. Yeah. And what's the title again? In my bin. Thank you so much. And,
yeah.
And ship. Yep.
Cool.
Awesome.
Oh, that's great. I'll check that out. I owned that forever. So.
Right.
I'm
all
about
really, it is really good. And the production quality, I think it has yet to be surpassed in dollars paid for the game and production quality that you get.
Yeah.
I think
it has not been
they
matched.
lost money, but they just wanted to do this passion project is the press that I read. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Cool.
It's awesome.
That's cool. All right. My number 2 is from 2015. And that would be Pandemic Legacy Season 1. I haven't played any of the Pandemic Legacies, but I want to start at the beginning, even though I've heard that they get better as they go. But I know Rob got to play this one all the way through, and I've got it up on the shelf, so I think I'm waiting for the kids to get a little bit older, and we're gonna play it as a family. But that's definitely one that we have all 3 of them. I've heard from everybody, and like trying not to listen to all the spoilers, and it's like, but I mean, it's years old now, so it's like it's my own fault if I hear spoilers and things like that. But yeah, Pandemic Legacy.
Great pick. Excellent.
Ryan, we interviewed Robb when we had our kind of legacy month, and I am not a big Pandemic. I mean, I don't play Pandemic and the legacy either, but I am so intrigued from the design side, where I was just like soaking up all this, influential choices in regards to, if narratively speaking, if you go here and here. And I think, Ryan, from the experiential side, you were just digging the fact that it's like, I get to hear, like, forget the, quotations. I'm talking to the guy. So I'm going to hand this back to Ryan.
And it was very, like how he said, very episodic in nature. Like it's episode 1, like every game is a new episode in the TV series, and something's evolved, something's changed. Now we have to play the game and strategize a little bit differently. And every game group's experience with it is going to be so different. You might discover something way earlier than we discovered something, and vice versa. And those things just these are the top of the legacy game experiences.
Without spoiling anything, I was so taken with the conceptual, I'm trying to pick the right words, the conceptual approach to each season. I thought was so cool from this larger story arc idea, and that's my best way of not wrecking anything. But
if you do play them in sequentials, there are nods to what happened in a previous in the previous version, like in season 1.
Remember when
and we totally had, when we were playing season 2, we totally had those moments where, like, wait a minute, that sounds like that what this happened, and remember, and then we had that whole side conversation of just like reliving what happened, and remember, that's when Ryan did this, and then we lost. It was his fault that all of this happened.
See, I love those stories, and that was a really good episode. That was interesting hearing his like thought process to how he made that, like that legacy kind of aspect. So that was
nice.
Fun.
Well, here we go. My number 1, and I think in order of the games, this is the most expensive of all my picks, and it is. I think it's like Rob, like you mentioned with I think Mechs versus Minions. You don't see it for sale anywhere, and I love me some high fantasy D&D, and I love when there is a game where I can take that narrative doesn't stop story kind of campaign and put it into a mini version, and I want to play Kingdom Death Monster.
Nice.
That one came out of left field for me. I wasn't predicting that.
I want me some big, because you start off, your guy's got a knife, that's it, and a loincloth. Survive, right? Right. It's just like
in the dark,
build your story, right? And and I'm not a big minis guy, but if you're gonna go minis, then apparently a Mr. Dress Up size tickle trunk full of minis.
Wow, you have to build yourself.
That was like some old Canadiana reference. There's people going, whoa. Hockey night in Canada is starting right away.
That was my favorite. I loved Mr. Dress Up.
It's funny, like
Casey
and then the Friendly Giant right after.
Liking
Fred Penner.
Making similarities between Kingdom Death Monster and Mr. Dress Up.
Yeah, exactly. Then only in my brain would those two
only come here
in like parallel sentences. The idea, because I DM a couple groups on a weekly basis, and I love collaborative narrative. I love contributing or discovering just through choices how and where this story develops. And it's just so fantastic. So, but again, I might have to sell off half my collection to go find a copy.
But
once again
has one.
Once again, you can go to shop.kingdomdeath.com and buy it straight from, they have a Canadian warehouse, it says here, that you can have it shipped straight from the Canadian warehouse.
What's it selling for these days?
This version looks like it is
16 payments of
and go Canadian warehouse, and looks like $420.
All right. Okay. I'm gonna just hit pause and have a little cry right now. But that might be the reason why I haven't played in a long time, or in a long time at all. But yeah, if we want to go with the wish list here, I don't even need to own it. I just want to play it.
Yeah.
Right, that's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the key.
So I will trade woodworking skills for someone who will play that. No. Yeah, that's mine. Kingdom Death Monster.
I like it.
Very nice.
My number one, and I'm going to describe this game, and Rob's going to be like, "Why have you not played this game before?"
Uh-oh. I don't like this.
Well, from the description, I think Rob is going to go want to buy this game afterwards too, if he doesn't already own it. I have no idea if he owns this one or not.
That's just our underneath motivation for everything is, can I get someone to buy this?
She's been writing a little list here.
So this comes from 2016. The publisher was Level 99 Games, and a little description about this is what was the little tagline? Play as players who are playing the greatest collectible card game in the universe. And this is Millennium Blades.
Oh, yes. Heard so much about this.
So I am, and I know Rob was too, and is a collectible card game player, Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon. You can insert lots of different things, Flesh and Blood lately. And this game literally has you playing as people playing a collectible card game. You have to open up booster packs and collect cards.
Really?
And then you get to play the game. And as in you're just in this infancy of you first discover the game and you play over several rounds until you get to the national championships.
Is that right? I had no idea that that's what was going on in that game.
So this game is it's totally meta, that you are playing as people competing in a collectible card game.
Wow.
And you have to draft cards by opening up booster packs and trying to figure out the correct combinations to play to win against your opponent. And you have to play this little collectible card game against one another. And
I've heard people
so
say
much about it.
That it's a big economics game too, because it's
because
what's valuable to me might not be valuable to you in this.
Because there's that
trade.
There's trading in the game too. They try to evaluate the worth of your card versus the worth of another person's card. So
as it relates to your deck. Yeah.
So
wow, I had no idea.
I have not played this, though I am proud to say as of today, I just picked up a copy of this off of a BGG auction.
I thought you were going to say as of right now.
As about 30 seconds ago.
It is being shipped to me as of right now. It'll be on my doorstep on Monday afternoon.
Nice.
So I will be able to play. I got it for a pretty decent price in a BGG auction.
Cue the victory music. Dun, dun,
Right?
dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, I thought I was never, because it's not really in print. I can see expansions. I find expansions to this game left, right, and center, but I've never actually been able to find the base game for this. But now I do.
I want to say Aaron from Boards Alive is a big fan of it. I want to say
that he's mentioned it maybe just a couple times over the past few years. And it just, it says it's the greatest collectible card game simulator of all time. This is one of its taglines.
I had no idea.
Very cool.
I've heard all the good things. Like everyone says, it's a great game, but I had no clue that it was that. Sounds awesome. I want to get a copy now.
Yeah. And it says you can play a mini campaign where it's like, hey, go from starter deck to regionals. That would be like a session. And then go from regionals to nationals. And then go from nationals to worlds. So you can play like this epic campaign of going to become the world champion of this collectible card game.
Interesting. That's so cool.
That does.
Yeah. And all of the art is very Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon inspired.
Yeah.
Type thing. So, Millennium Blades.
Millennium Blades. All right.
Well, my number one is a game that I do have in this house, and it's sitting right down there behind me. And it's in a giant, big black box. And it's already been mentioned on this show. And that is Kingdom Death Monster.
A crossover.
Yeah, a crossover. I bought that game back when it went on its second print, and it was like $200 back then, and that was a long shot, like extraordinarily the most expensive game we ever bought at that point. And the only reason I haven't played it is because you have to put it together and you have to paint it.
You have to build all the minis yourself, right? Like they're those ones where they're like,
put them together.
Yeah.
So, and we told ourselves, because I bought that around the same time I bought Gloomhaven, and we said that we were going to, do one or the other kind of thing. So we went into Gloomhaven, and so it hit the shelf and it's been sitting there ever since. But yes, for all the reasons you said, Norm, it's looks so good to me and I can't wait to play it. But I'm almost thinking about sending it away to someone to put together and paint.
Cool.
Because I don't know when I'm gonna have time to do that.
See, Ryan, I'm not checking where I can buy the game online. I'm checking how much it costs us to fly to Kelowna right now.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, let's jet to Kelowna. Let's see. I'm gonna go for the weekend.
You can have Eclipse and Kingdom Death Monster sitting right here.
And Millennium Blades.
And Millennium Blades. Yeah, just up the street is Aaron from Boards
crossover. I love it.
Yeah, crossover #1, Kingdom Death Monster. Yeah. And it is a coffin-sized box. It's about, I don't know, this wide. It's huge. And it is chock-a-block full of minis, right to the brim. When I opened it up, take the top off, it's just plastic. It's amazing. And like you said, you just start with, you're in your loincloth with a little candle and a wooden knife or whatever, and you gotta build up your little camp and civilization. Sounds amazing. Can't wait to play it, but it's just for those reasons we haven't got to it, but it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
This is it. The #1.
All right. So my #1, go figure, is also a crossover.
Really?
Who would have thought?
2 crossovers.
2.
I had predicted before we started recording, I said, we're not going to have any crossovers. There's so many games out there.
I know. I didn't think we would either.
I'm very curious what this is.
My #1 is from 2016. Also a designer that I love. That would be A Feast for Odin.
Oh, I didn't realize you haven't played that.
No.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Nice.
There was another one I had on there and I was going back and forth, but that one I remember you coming home and talking about it and saying how much I would love it, and you played it quite a bit, and I just think it sounds awesome. And it looks that I love the art, and I love Rosenberg, and I really want to play
the polyomino thing, and
it's his magnum opus, that game, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Oh
yeah.
Yay.
Yeah. So for everything you said, Norm, my #1.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crossover.
Yeah.
So we might have to actually have a like 4-way on BGA, Board Game Arena, and just play Feast for Odin one night.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, totally.
Okay, we'll record it.
Yeah,
and it'll have to have a disclaimer. There could be some cursing in this episode.
Yeah.
This game should only take 60 minutes, and it is now 3 hours.
Yeah.
So,
that's
hey,
excellent.
that's
Good
you
list.
know what these are some awesome titles. Like, I can't believe that we only had 2 crossovers. I mean, first of all, that we had crossovers.
Yeah.
That we got 2 of them, and like part of me, there's just so many that I have on the backside that it's just like, they just didn't make that list, right?
Yeah.
But
There was a few on my short list that, like, it was hard for me to kick out and be like, which one do I pick over the other? I could have had top 10 easily.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But then we would have been talking for 2 hours probably.
Yeah.
Nice. Anna Marie, that was an awesome title because it made me think about games that were just outside of that reach, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And pardon me, my first one that popped in my head, I'm like, Cosmic Encounter. But then I started looking through that list. I'm like, oh wait, there's way more on top of that one. All right, so we're gonna end the show with I've got on the computer, I have a D6 to determine out of us three who gets the next list. So Ryan,
Sure.
You are going to be 1, 2. Rob, you're going to be 3, 4, and I'm going to be 5, 6. And I'm just going to do a random roll right now, and it is 2. So Ryan,
all right.
you get the list. I'm not going to put you on the pressure and say, hey, do you have any idea right now what your list is?
Top 5 games you can play on the can.
All right, then. I've got some editing to do.
I love it.
It'll be this blatant cut in Pan Am Airlines.
Oh my gosh, I don't know where that came from either.
And the funny part is, as when you give us the real list, I'm still in the back of my head gonna just have that list. We're all like, oh yeah, we have to have that list, but we're not telling anybody about it. And yes, I did wash my hands. So yeah, well, there you go. Thank you so much, you guys. I think this is I don't know about you guys, but this is a keeper. I like this top 5 show. So
lists are fun, man.
Lists are fun.
Lists are fun.
There's no other.
Let's make lists on how good lists are. So this fifth thing that I like about lists is we get
Top
to talk.
lists.
Lots of talking. So before we head out, Ryan, let us know like where you can be found, what's going on, what you're ranting about.
Sure. So you can find me on YouTube, Mr. Rouse Gaming Rants and Reviews, talking about a whole bunch of random topics. Lately, it is about how big CMON games are, and they don't give you a storage solution. That was a
duffel bag.
But get two refrigerator boxes full of games and no way to store them. That's fun. So you can listen to my rants on YouTube, and then also you can follow my gaming adventures on Twitter and Instagram.
Cool. And
Mr.
Meeple
Rao
Dungeon.
Gaming.
Oh, sorry, I cut you off there.
No, that's fine. Just Mr. Rao Gaming. That's all.
Okay, Meeple Dungeon. Where can you be found?
We are on Twitter and YouTube, and our podcast is on all the major podcasting sites. And this week we're going to be recording episode 34, and we're going to be reviewing this Arc Nova on the next episode. We've got it actually sitting on the table right in front of us right now, and it's pretty sweet. So we'll we'll be reviewing that. But yeah, I post. I do the Twitter thing. We do the odd thing for YouTube, but our podcast 34 episodes in now. So
yes, we are going to be back together in a month talking about Ryan's list, and I'm sure you'll give us ample time to I know you're going to sit back and think, okay, what kind of out of left field can I list?
I know it in the back of my head already. I already know it.
Do you want to spill it? Do you want to spill it here?
No.
Okay.
We'll let people come back in a month's time.
And in 2 weeks' time, we will have a good stagger. We'll have our next episode of New to My Collection and Games on My Radar. And I'm not embarrassed to say that I've already got a pile started of new games that's entered my house. And not compared to Ryan and his CMON fridge box collection that's been coming to his door. So yeah, I think the most the what gives me the most joy about this is that I've got scheduled time with you every month, you guys, and that just makes
great.
me so happy to actually talk to other adults.
Yes,
it's great.
It's awesome.
We love being here.
Oh, right on.